You do walk into it and you look at the people and the emotions they have, and you kind of go, wow.
I think as an overall result, everyone is absolutely delighted with the outcome.
Hello, my name's Gavin Harris and I'm Design Director at Futurespace.
And I'm Joseph Daly, Technical Director also from Futurespace.
The scope of the works for Active Metal was the development of 2 staircases, one being for ground to level 1, which was client and patronage connection, and the other one was then from 1 to 6, which really was the communication stair for the rest of the works. These were to be developed in a timeline that suited the base build because we were going to integrate them into that work, and we did integrate them. The main aim for the project, obviously for Reece, was to create a support structure for their network. It was accommodating and moving themselves from Burwood to a new location in Cremorne, which is a very highly active centre now. It's tech orientated, and Reece was changing its persona. It is a tech leader. So this new fit out was needing to reflect the new premise. It was to support them for their 2030 vision in planning and design, and then really breaking down some of the silos that have created in the old fit out where people were separated and not talking, not communicating.
I think Reece as well, being such a significant organisation nationally across Australia, this gave them a great opportunity to develop a workplace that supports their people, but also showed Reece as leaders in their field. I think the design was so agile, for a company that's been around for so long, having the foresight to say, well, this is the type of workspace we want for our people, this is how we see our people working, and we can be better for it.
Everyone's working now in this hybrid way of working, sometimes 3 days a week, 4 days. So when people come in, we tried to multiply the number of times you would get the opportunity to see people or bump in, that random bump in factor. The feature I like, which is actually a really simple feature, is the typical communication stair has a round landing, mid-landing. And that round mid-landing makes you pivot around. And with the design of the floor plate, which is a radial axle, rather, the workstations, you look down the workstations and the different spaces, you're looking down at them so you can get to see people's faces. You're not looking at the back of this head or looking at screens. And that small detail helps connectivity in the business so much. I think what's important with any project is the team. Active Metal was engaged in the project quite early. We won the project just before Christmas, about 4 years ago. We did development work for about 6 months in design. We wanted to have a high quality product. We wanted to be able to make sure it was going to be priced correctly and delivered. And Active Metal gave us that confidence. So I think that is really important. We've worked with you, you know how we work, we know what we produce as drawings, and we know what we get back, and it's really a comforting factor. That comforting factor then gave us enough confidence to present that to both CBRE, the project manager, and to the client themselves. All projects have challenges, and I think that's what actually make projects interesting, don't they? And the challenges can come from the physicality of the site, or they can come from the team, or the timeline, or the budget. I think we probably had all of those actually.
Yeah.
But I think the real challenge in this was financially stacking it up to start with. I think the main connective stair, the communication stair from level 1 to 6 was the concept of using a pipe, being part of Reece, part of the flow concept. We wanted to be like a 300 diameter pipe was the idea, and it would go around the apertures and down and be the single stringer. So that was something that we had not done before, and we really were kind of hell-bent on wanting to do that. So with Active Metal's knowledge, we were able to work out how we could do that and bring it into a cost comparative stair design.
It's always a learning experience dealing with the specialists on a project. Understanding the approach from an installation perspective allows us to take a step back and refine a design to give a better result, knowing exactly how it's going to be manufactured, installed, and ultimately what the end result will be. I think the space itself, whether you start on ground floor and work your way up, or you start on top level and work your way down, it's always a sense of dynamic. Each space is different, each floor, and the stair, as it leads you through each space, you do get a sense of anticipation as to what am I going to see, what's going to be happening on this floor. And as you work your way down and eventually down to the spiral stair from level 1 to ground, you have that whole sense of, future ways of thinking, what's happening, what Reece are presenting, what they're promoting, what's the latest and greatest that they have to offer. And I think it really showcases them as an organization, not only to their people, but also to the wider community.